Okay, Algebra 2, we're on page 4 now of your homework packet, and we're starting with problem 15. So 15 says below is the graph of negative x to the fourth plus 3, and it's asking about the function. So constant would actually mean that the function is going straight across. It's not a good example of straight across. Straight across like so at some point. And our function's actually never doing that. It is increasing and decreasing though. So if you look at the graph, it's increasing right here. And then it stops increasing and it starts decreasing. So it's decreasing on the interval 0 to infinity. From when x is 0 until x is infinity. Alright, 16. What are the solutions for the equation below? Well, the best way to solve this is to multiply both sides by the denominators. Or you could also cross multiply here. So if you multiply the x times the x plus 2 and the 2 times the 16 plus x, you're going to get x times x plus 2 equals 2 times 16 minus x. And then we're going to solve that. So we have x squared plus 2x equals 32 minus 2x. And bringing everything to one side, I can add the 2x from the right, so I get x squared plus 4x, and subtract the 32 that's on the right, and that's minus 32 equals 0. So then again, whenever you're solving a quadratic, you have choices. You could always graph this on your calculator to find your solutions, or you could just factor it. So two numbers that multiply to negative 32 and add to 4 are 8 and negative 4. So you get x plus 8 times x minus 4 equals 0, and that gives you the solutions x equals negative 8 and x equals 4. So that matches F. Okay, in problem 17, this is a great problem to put right into your calculator. Remember that when you get your calculator, you want to put it into A plus BI mode right away, but I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to press mode, and I'm going to put it down into A plus BI mode. And then I'll do second quit, and I'm going to type exactly what I see. 3 plus 4i. To get the I, that is above the decimal, looks like. So it's second period, and that's my I. And then 3 minus 4i. Second decimal, close parentheses. My answer is 25. And that's not bad. So you circle B. Okay, problem 18. You need to use your difference of cubes pattern, which I wrote above the problem. 8a cubed is the cube of 2a. So we have the cube of 2a minus the cube of 5. So everywhere it says a, you want to put 2a, and everywhere it says 5, or everywhere it says b, you want to put 5. So a minus b becomes 2a minus 5. A squared is a square of 2a. Remember to square the 2 also, so you get 4a squared. AB is 5 times 2a, so that would be 10a. And b squared would be 5 squared, so that's 25. So that should match one of your answers. Let's see. 2a minus 5, 4a squared plus 10a plus 25. That's answer H. Okay, 19. This is actually another good problem once you're in A plus BI mode to try to type on your calculator. Although it won't give you the square root of 10, it's going to give you a decimal there. But still, I feel like this problem, you're going to get something that's going to be recognizable. So let's give it a chance. So in the calculator, we're going to type parentheses 3 plus second square root, negative 90. I'm going to close the parentheses for the square root and then also for the expression. And then minus parentheses 3 plus second square root, negative 9. Close the parentheses for the square root and also for the expression. Okay, so I get a number times I. So that would not be the first number because there's no I, and it would not be the last number because the last number is 6I. So if you type in the answers for B and C, one of those should match. So let's try the first one. The first one is 3I, so I'm going to do second decimal, parentheses, square root of 10, second square root 10, close parentheses, plus 1, close parentheses. It's not the same number, so it should be the one after it. If I do second enter, I can go back to the last thing I typed and just change my plus to a minus. And that's the same answer. So it should be answer C. Those two match. Okay, go on to the next page. In problem 20, you are looking at the gas consumed when Antoine's car is driven at a constant distance at various speeds, and it's modeled by a cubic function. So you want to underline that when you're looking at the SOL test, so you remember to do a cubic regression. And after you do the cubic regression, you're going to find the best prediction for the number of gallons of gas consumed if the car drives at a constant speed of 60 miles per hour. So the first thing we're going to do is put this data in your calculator. So turn your calculator on, and remember it's stat edit. And in list 1 goes your speed. So 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 50. And in list 2, 23, 26.9, 29, 30, 31, 35. Alright, then we're going to do a cubic regression. So you press stat again and go over to calculate. And it's choice 6 here. Enter. Okay, so this is the equation I get, and I'm going to write this equation down. So it's y is equal to 0.001 x cubed plus negative 0.111 x squared plus 4.233x plus negative 25.252. So you can write that down and you can plug in 60 because that's a lot for me to do right now. I'm going to press y equals, clear this out and go to vars, and I'm going to go to statistics and over to equation, and I'm going to get the information from my regression equation, and it just is going to paste it all in there so that if I press graph now, I'm going to get this graph, and I can actually trace that to a value that I want, but only if I set my window so it goes big enough. So I need to set my window so that my x's are going to go up to 60 at least, and probably 70 just to be sure. And then my y's have to go pretty big too. I'll just make my y's go up to 70 also. I'm looking at the gas, and the gas seems like it's lower than the speed. So my x max is going to go up to 70. And my y max is going to go up to 70. Alright, I'm waiting for that graph to come up, and then if I press trace and then I type in 60, then it's going to give me 47.24. So it looks like H is my answer. Alright, problem 21, which is not the characteristic of the normal distribution. So remember that the normal distribution is your bell curve, like so. So the first problem says it's bell-shaped. Well, it is bell-shaped, so it's not that one. The maximum height of the graph occurs at the mean. This is also true. This is your mean right here, which we call mu. Half of the values lie below the mean and half above the mean. Well, now that's pretty obvious from your picture. So we're hoping that the answer is D. The data are distributed evenly over the range of values. Well, that's not true. If they were distributed evenly, then that would mean that instead of a bell shape, you would just have a straight line across. So D is the answer because it's asking which one is not a characteristic. In 22, the polynomial function has a 0 at x equals -2. So which must be a factor? So remember, that means that the factor is going to be the opposite of -2. It's going to be x plus 2. Because if x plus 2 equals 0, that would solve to x equals -2. Alright, and in 23, during a thunderstorm, your lightning distance d from the lightning, so you have d, is directly proportional to the time t that passes. So that part is d is equal to k times t. If you hear thunder 15 seconds after you see lightning, then you are 3 miles from the lightning. So the distance is 3 when the time is 15 seconds. So then if you divide, you get that k is 3 over 15, which is 1/5. And it just asks what the constant of proportionality is, and constant of proportionality is the name for k. So we already solved it. It's B. Alright, so we're going to move on to your next video.